Have you ever wondered about the wonders and mysteries that lie in the unexplored depths of our oceans? On the Brain Outside the Box channel, we dive deep into this fascinating underwater world, where giants rule and the laws of nature defy our understanding. From creatures that produce their own light to giants that withstand the extreme pressures of the depths, each video is a journey into the unknown. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, and join us in this extraordinary adventure through the depths of the sea. Let's explore together what's hidden in the dark and cold waters of our planet. And as we dive into these mysterious waters, it's impossible not to reflect on our own place in the natural world. Humans are, at the same time, insignificant and completely dominant in the grand scheme of life. The world's population occupies only 0.01% of all living beings on the planet. Yet, since civilization emerged, our species has caused the loss of 83% of all wild mammals and half of the world's plants. But there is a place inhabited by giants that is almost untouched by man. I'm not talking about another planet or an unreachable place, but the bottom of the sea, where giant creatures live in the dark and cold depths. The fact is that the deepest places in the oceans can be a terrifying place with many unknowns. We know very little about the vast majority of them. Any location below 380 feet is total darkness, making it difficult to learn more about what's below the surface. Exploring the oceans is so difficult that we have more detailed maps of Mars than of the ocean floor. Due to all this difficulty in exploring the oceans, there are many mysteries surrounding the creatures that live thousands of feet underwater. Tales of great mythical marine creatures have circulated since humanity began embarking on maritime adventures. Although these tales were often enriched with fantastical details, it is known that great creatures from the bottom of the sea, which seem to have come straight out of a page of a fiction book, lurk in the oceans. In fact, the size of these creatures has intrigued marine biologists for decades. Considered the largest ecosystem on the planet, the abyssal region of the oceans, that is, the region below 6,562 feet, covers about 60% of the global surface. Amidst the darkness, the temperature varies from 32 to 39 degrees Fahrenheit, and the pressure is capable of crushing an oxygen cylinder. Interestingly, many animals that live in these environments are capable of producing their own light, which is called bioluminescence. For example, the lanternfish, which got its name due to its ability to produce light emitted by organs located on the head, along the side of the body, and on the tail, grows up to 6 inches and spends the day at depths reaching 4,921 feet. The colossal squid, for example, is believed to be the largest of this species. Researchers claim it can grow up to 46 feet and weigh 1,653 pounds. Unlike the giant squid, whose tentacles have only suckers lined with small teeth, the limbs of the colossal squid are also equipped. This squid can hunt and eat sperm whales, the largest of the toothless and the largest toothed predator. Have you ever heard of the oarfish? This fish, which more resembles a sea serpent, has a flattened shape, which allows it to move through the water by undulating its body. These animals have long fins that look like oars as well as a red crest. But if you thought the appearance of this animal was different, wait until you discover its size. As crazy as it may sound, the oarfish can grow up to 56 feet in length. This size makes it one of the largest bony fishes on our planet. And despite being giant, it's not very common to see the oarfish around as it lives in the depths. Therefore, what is known about this animal is, at least for specialists, mysterious. The oarfish only comes to the surface when it is injured or dead. However, in recent years, some of them have been observed a few times by manned submarines that managed to capture images and reveal a little more about this giant. We can also mention the lion's mane jellyfish, an animal with a body that can reach up to 6 feet in diameter, and its tentacles can reach no less than 115 feet in length. The species inhabits seas from Mexico to the Arctic, and you wouldn't want to encounter an animal like this. The tentacles of this jellyfish are full of venomous cells used to capture their prey. The most bizarre thing is that despite feeding on zooplankton and fish eggs, this animal can feed on other jellyfish, which makes the lion's mane jellyfish one of the rare cases of animals that commit cannibalism. Well, with all these examples, it's clear why the depths of the oceans are scary. But there's still a question to be answered. Why are the animals that live in the abyssal region of the ocean so large and live so long? Remembering that I gave only a few examples, as I could spend a whole day here telling the details of the giant animals that live in the oceans. It may be a bit difficult to imagine how the creatures from the bottom of the sea are able to reach such large sizes. After all, the water pressure at the bottom of the ocean is extremely high. But with such intense pressure, shouldn't the animals at the bottom of the sea be smaller than those near the surface? Although it may seem impossible, the water pressure does not prevent marine creatures from reaching enormous sizes. The reason why water pressure does not affect the size of underwater creatures is really very simple. The creatures from the bottom of the sea are generally not affected by water pressure because they consist mainly of water. Water is generally incompressible. More clearly, this means that creatures made mainly of water do not need to worry about being crushed by the intense water pressure present at the bottom of the ocean. The truth is that the creatures from the bottom of the sea are able to reach such large sizes due to conditions that are unique to the depths of the ocean. The absence of sunlight causes temperatures to drop significantly. The low temperatures cause the creatures to have increased cell sizes. In addition, the creatures that live in these conditions can live longer, which means they can continue to grow more and more throughout their lives. The low temperatures are associated with an increase in body size in marine and terrestrial creatures. In mammals and birds, this correlation between size and climate is known as Bergmann's rule, which has been observed in many animals, in addition to mammals and birds, including animals like turtles and salamanders. Marine biologists who use Bergmann's rule are able to obtain surprising sizes. In addition to living in conditions that allow them to grow, the size of most creatures from the bottom of the sea also helps them survive in the harsh conditions in which they live. According to the biological concept known as Kleider's law, larger animals are generally more energy efficient than smaller animals, mainly due to a slower metabolism. When food is scarce, being larger means that creatures can have a longer interval between meals. We can also consider that there are limited food sources due to the lack of oxygen at the bottom of the sea. So being so large brings some advantages for the creatures that live in the depths of the oceans. As these animals have a slower metabolism, they tend to survive longer than smaller creatures. Many creatures from the bottom of the sea need to wait long periods before their next meal. Therefore, being larger means a greater chance of staying alive. The upside is that we probably won't see any giant creatures from the bottom of the sea migrating to live on the surface, at least not for now. And here we return to a topic that has already been addressed in this video, which has to do with the differences in pressure between the water near the surface and the water near the bottom of the ocean. As I said, the creatures from the bottom of the sea consist mainly of water, which allows them to not be affected by the intense water pressure. However, these creatures cannot survive in low-pressure waters like near the surface. Gases dissolved in their bloodstreams would cause bubbles to start forming in their blood vessels, leading to a problem called gas embolism, which is basically a situation where gas is observed obstructing blood flow. Eventually, this would cause their bodies to swell and explode. So it's better that they stay there at the bottom of the sea, right? In summary, the giants of the ocean depths are not just fascinating creatures. They are ambassadors of an almost alien world, witnesses to the incredible ability of life to adapt and thrive in extreme conditions. Each discovery we make in the dark depths of the oceans reminds us of how vast and mysterious our planet is, a world where life not only exists but flourishes in forms that defy our imagination. These discoveries are an invitation to continue exploring, learning, and above all, respecting the countless wonders that Earth has to offer. So, as we say goodbye for today, remember that there's much more to discover and understand. Stay with us at Brain Outside the Box, where each video is a new journey into the unknown. Until next time, explorers of the unknown, goodbye.